So now what I want to do, if this technology works, is share my screen and just give you a few tips and insights for the fundraising side of things. If you're new to online fundraising, it's a great way to having a fundraising page to share with your friends and family and let them know what you're doing for the month and hopefully get some support from them. So I'll just share my screen now and hopefully get the right screen up. Here we go. Rightio. Here is my dashboard. Now I'm just going to move my screen across here so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so when you sign up to Give It Up, you'll get a profile. And when you log into your profile, if you hover over this right-hand side here, there's my name there, Sue, and my profile picture. You've got a couple of things that you can go into here. So I'm currently in my dashboard. Now, this is just what you will see. Your friends and family, when you share it, won't see this. What they see when you share your page is your profile, which looks a little bit like this. Now, within here, you can set a goal. You've got a default little story on here about why I'm doing it. So you can go in there and edit that. You might, if you want to look at my page later, I'm doing it for my mum in the UK who's recently been through rectal cancer. So yeah, and as you can see, my mum has been my top donor. So yeah, that's your profile page, but I'll take you back to the dashboard here. So this is where you can go in and make some changes. So here, on this right-hand side here, you can see my profile and my team. So I've set up a team as well, and you can flick between the two. So if you want to go and make some changes to your page, you can go in here, click Edit Your Fundraising Page. And, you know, there's a number of things that you can change. You can put a different photo up, change the default story. If you've had lots of donations, want to up your fundraising goal, you can put that in there. Change the picture that you share your page with. And I'll just click. And then, of course, remember to save when you've done the changes. There we go. All right. So just going back into my dashboard again. So that's editing your fundraising page. You can then share your page to get donations. So clicking that button will take you to Facebook. You can share via email. And this one's quite useful. You can just copy the link to your page from that button. I won't actually go through that process with you, but you can have a play around with that. Copying the link there is an important one. One of the tips I'd give you, sharing it on Facebook is great for getting the message out there about what you're doing. Often people will like your page and not necessarily go through and donate. So sharing via email or even copying the link into Messenger or WhatsApp, sending it out as a more personal approach does get a better response. But what Facebook is pretty good at is this tip that I tried last night. So before last night, you can see here that I'm currently sitting on $481. So I'd shared my page once on social media and a few people had donated to me. I then last night went onto social media and did a post and tagged all the people that had donated to me and thanked them for their donation. And bingo, a whole flood more donations came in from people that thought, oh, my name's not on that list and I should be. So that combined with, I shared the link via this button here into Messenger, and I've got a little Messenger group set up with my family in the UK, and overnight they jumped on and donated. They've obviously seen it on Facebook as well, hadn't donated, but sharing it into the group. And once one had done it and I thanked them, the rest of them did as well. So just a couple of tips for you to try there if you're finding you're not getting many donations coming through. This little section here on my achievements, you can see we've got little badges here. And this is just a little bit of fun for keeping you motivated, keeping you going with your fundraising to see which level you can get to. But I just wanted to highlight really what the funds are going towards and to put some context around that. So predominantly we are funding research, and in particular clinical trials. Now, clinical trials are a really important part of research. It takes findings in the lab and brings them into real life situations with patients. It's an essential process for getting sort of a new drug discovery through to becoming a standard of care. Now, you may well be aware that in New Zealand, there are a lot of issues with funding new drugs through Pharmac. Again, that's another aside that Gut Cancer Foundation is working on, advocating for funding of some of these new drugs. But through the clinical trial process, we're giving access to New Zealanders, access to some of these drugs up to 5 years earlier and without payment through these clinical trials. So it's a really important aspect, both for research, but also for patients who might have exhausted all other treatment options. So as an example, funds from the Give It Up campaign last year have funded 2 clinical trials, and up to 20 patients have got access to a drug that they wouldn't otherwise have, and which is going to extend their life and provide a better outcome. So what you're fundraising for is real. I'll come back to this $1,000 mark here because that's the minimum cost for getting somebody, one person, onto a clinical trial. They do vary depending on the trials, from $1,000, anything from $1,000 up to $10,000. But for us, if you can achieve $1,000, you're a champion because you're potentially improving the outcome of a fellow New Zealander. So huge thanks again for your support of the campaign. If Sean's on hand as your nutritional coach, I'm on hand as your fundraising coach. If you want to drop me a line and organise a call with me to talk through some of this stuff, if you're technically challenged and need my help, do just reach out. I'm here to support you. Yeah, and that's about it. I don't know if we've got any questions in the group. No questions at the moment, so I'll stop sharing the screen and just say, look, best of luck to everyone. Our goal is to raise $200,000 from the campaign, and you know, if everyone can do their bit to add into that, some are going to raise more, some less, and we know it's challenging out there for a lot of people at the moment with COVID, but do your best and you know, spread the word, and yeah, looking forward to the month ahead. So we'll join you again next Thursday evening, but in the meantime, post any questions you have on the group or contact us via email. So many thanks for joining us this evening, and as I say, best of luck and catch you next Thursday.
Thanks very much, team.